Hi darlings, this is Christina, and today I have quite a few new fun goodies for you. I have a little Hermes, a little Sisley, a little Dior, a little LISAELDRIDGE. So if you're interested, just keep watching and let's get into it. Okay, I have so many fun new goodies here. I'm like, where do I start? Okay, so some things I have been trying for a little bit. So we're kind of going to do a makeup look. Now, I will tell you, I have the LISAELDRIDGE Fawn palette. I did purchase it a few weeks ago. And I don't know that we're going to get into this today. So this may be a separate video. Only because for the look I want to create, it doesn't include a whole eyeshadow palette, but I may use a few items here, and I just wanted to let you know that. I'm not sure if we're going to use the whole thing, but I want to give it its own dedicated review. So just know it's coming in the future. I almost forgot, we have a little Guerlain too. What I'm going to do, we're going to just build this per usual. So we'll start with the eyes first. We're going to create a whole look today, so hopefully you liked the thumbnail, you liked how it looked, and you want to watch this whole thing. But we're going to start with something that I purchased maybe about a few weeks ago. And this is the Sisley Phyto-Touche bronzer. I told you guys I was interested in this bronzer and I was going to wait for a sale. And Sisley did have a sale recently, 20% off, so I took the opportunity to do so. I am on the hunt for a very everyday, wearable, long-lasting, natural-looking bronzer, and when I swatched this at Bloomingdale's some months ago, I knew I wanted to try this. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, and we're going to start with the bronzer. The Sisley bronzer has an 18-month shelf life. It is made in Italy, and it has mostly natural deriving virgin products. Now, when I received this originally, it was so hard to kind of pick up the product, but once you kind of like dig into and start using it more regularly, it's like you break the base, like the top layer, and it's much easier, much smoother. So I love this color. And what I love about Sisley's products is that it never looks cakey on you and it lasts. So this is very similar to me, to Malibu Muse, which is a lovely bronzer, obviously a fraction of the cost. But the thing about this bronzer that I realized was it doesn't last very long on me. And so I wanted to show you like similar tones. So Malibu Muse definitely, I would say, is less warm actually. I really thought this was going to be closer than it is, but the Sisley bronzer and the Malibu Muse, so it is a little different. And you know, I do love a warm tone bronzer. So let's start. I'm going to take just my BK Beauty 112 brush. It's just a little more angled and it was the clean one I could find. So yeah, I interchangeably just use like this one, or perhaps, you know what, I kind of want to use a refer brush. This is actually one that I haven't talked about, but I've had for about a month. And this is the Refer AA01. This is with the YouTuber Alexandria. Now, I don't know her that well. I know of her. I've seen her. But I liked this brush, so I did support her. I like Refer brushes, and this one looked really nice, and I've got a lot of use out of it. It's a nice little brush that kind of just ever so lightly, like a, I forgot what they called it, like a pinch brush or something to that effect. I don't know. I'll write it so that you can see. What I like about the Sisley bronzer is that it goes on so light, and you obviously build it up, but look at that nice coloring. It's got a nice color. And it doesn't look cakey. It looks very smooth, just like the Sisley blushes, which is why I wanted to try this. So we're going to keep blending. Definitely this is one of, since I've learned how to use it a little better, I think really since I broke the seal, I have really enjoyed this bronzer. It's got a slight glow, but nothing too intense. You know what I mean? It just looks so smooth on the skin, as you can see here. So I really like this one. Definitely a new addition that I think I can't be without. And I probably get why people don't talk about it more, because there is only one shade, which really wish they could make more shades with this formula. And you know, this is not a new formula. This is a pretty old product. It's the like only bronzer that Sisley carries, but it is really lovely. And if Sisley did make more shades, I'm sure this would be on a lot of people's top favorites, just because it just looks so good. Look at it. So now that we've done our little bronzer, now I'm going to do the eyes. So I picked up initially the LISAELDRIDGE. It's a single eyeshadow and also a primer, and I picked it up in the color Phoebe. And I have to say, definitely one of my favorite, absolute favorite one and done eyeshadows, because when you really want to be one and done, it's like the perfect tone for me. And I'll swatch it here too, so you can see. So when I blend it out, it's just perfect. It's a little bit deeper than my skin tone, right? But ever so slightly, so it doesn't look too dark, but it gives a little bit of dimension and color, so that truly can be a one and done. I've used this so much with like just this eyeshadow and maybe a little shimmer on my lid, and out the door when I want to do something ever so slight. I have never found a one and done eyeshadow like this. Now, I don't really use it as a primer. I like to reserve it as my single shadow on days where I want to do very minimal makeup, or I don't want to do like a pretty shimmer and I want that to kind of like show. I love this. So I have been using this for quite a while, and then I will usually put it under my eye here. I don't want to put too much. I don't want to get too crazy. And I'll take just a little brush and just go along the bottom waterline or bottom lower lid. And it's perfect. Do you see? You see? That's just the perfect one and done eyeshadow. And then, because I do want to use the same highlighter as an eyeshadow, we are going to go into the new Hermes ORROSE highlighter. So I was very fortunate that when I ordered this, it came in pretty quickly from Nordstrom's. It sold out like really quickly, and I did link this for you guys. I try to do that with things that I like that are limited edition. I don't link everything, just the things I would buy if I didn't do luxury beauty content. So this one does have a 12-month shelf life. It is made in Italy, and it states this has a rosy light accent with a metallic finish that you can apply to the face, the prominent features, the eyes, and the décolleté. So there is only 2 highlighters, I believe, in the Hermes collection. They have a gold one, and now they have this one, which is supposed to be limited edition. So, you know, perhaps it stays around for a little while. But this here is stunning. Look at this. And I will have to add a description for what this is, but I believe this is like one of the first places that Hermes made a location in Paris. So I'll have to link it because I really don't know. I didn't do any research on this before this video, because I have quite a few things to film and I need to get them out to you ASAP. So let me just swatch. Oh, so pretty. Oh, I hate to swatch, but look how pretty that is. It was reminding me of the Hourglass highlighter that has become like my favorite, and it was giving those vibes, and I was like, okay, if it's gonna look anything like that, I do not mind having 2 of those, because I know I'm gonna run out of that highlighter. I'm gonna show you guys a comparison momentarily. Let me take a little more and let's swatch it here. Ooh, that's pretty. It's got a very pretty pink shift, very smooth. Very pretty. It's very pretty. So since they say you can use it on your eyes, that's where I'm going to use it first. I'm going to take my Smith brush. Take just a little, I hate to mess it up, but actually this little embossment, it's got like this beautiful, almost like grainy look to the sky portion. Like the whole thing has that kind of texture, but it's so pretty. Just the artwork alone is giving. Okay, so very nice. And I love a multitasking product. I mean, but that's true with any highlighter. You can always let it, you know, on your lid or your inner corner to give your look like a pop of color. But this is really pretty. It's like not too much. It's just ever so slight, elegant touch of color. Wow. I'm super impressed with this. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye. So I'm going to take the Fawn palette now. I'm using my Chanel number 201. I like that it's double-ended, but this has a very nice corner. So I don't want to do too much. I'm going to take this shade here, which is Supernaturally, and I just want to deepen the outer. I don't want to do too much with this eye. I just take a little along the bottom lid. Like I said, I don't want to get too crazy with this. I just want a touch of dimension. Then I'll go over it with this lighter color, Dorian, which is very close to the Phoebe color, except it's just a little lighter. And I know these are like it's like a neutral palette, but it definitely to me leans a little cooler. I bought this with the hope that this would kind of fulfill my one eyeshadow palette that's kind of like an everyday neutral for me, but I think my neutral is still very warm. And while this is a very pretty, very wearable palette, it is not my perfect neutral palette. I'm still on the hunt for that. Like when I don't want to do too much. And at this point, the Guerlain Wild Nudes has been like, that is like my perfect nudie palette. I just still have to pull out other colors for like shimmers and things, but it is still a wonderful palette. And so far, the only one that really, you know, is the perfect tones for me. See, this starts to look more cool toned on me, which is not bad per se, but because I can't help myself, I will go over it with the Wild Nudes to kind of just give myself a little more warmth in general. So this is the Wild Nudes Guerlain palette, and you see this shade here really is like my favorite crease color. Do you see how I just warmed everything up? It's just my favorite. So, you know, if I have to just keep buying the Wild Nudes palette for this shade, I guess, you know, I will, because I love this color so much and I feel like it just goes with everything. It always completes the look if I need like just a nice color. Then we'll just go back into the Hermes. I'm just going to use my finger at this point. Make my life a little easier. Just go over the lid a little. And sometimes I even like to put a little bit of the shimmer right in the center of my lower lid. I just feel like sometimes it gives a nice little radiance to the center of the eye. Perfect. And then I'm going to take my Chanel liner. This is a Nudiclat. I love it for under waterline. Perfect. We'll go under and over like that. So you see how it just gives a little bit of an opening of your eye effect. And then I will go with my little Riffer 23 brush and go over the inner corner to like solidify that color, because I always go on the inner corner with that one and then just stamp it in. Very nice. So I showed you the highlighter here. Let me just show you before we put it on our cheeks, the highlighter from Hourglass. So I do have the Evil Eye palette. I just put in the Lotus package. And this middle shade here, Rose Gold Strobe Light, right? The Hermes highlighter. So very, very close. I feel like I can barely tell, guys, honestly. They're very close. Very close. This is the Evil Eye and the Hermes ORROSE. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference. I can barely tell the difference. I feel like the Hermes may be slightly shimmery. I don't know, that one's a hard one. If I look in the light, yeah, the ORROSE is slightly more of a glistening, I feel like. It's a little more shiny because of little glitter particles. Now, I'm going to take my Wayne Goss brush, and I'm trying to be so light. I haven't even touched this here pattern because it's already like ruined, see? I'm just in the sky right now because it's so pretty. I don't want to ruin it too much. I mean, I know that's going to happen, but... So I'm going to put it on my cheek so you can see how that looks with just my bronzer. So you can see it has a nice gloss, a nice clean. It's giving kind of like Victoria's Secret glow. The models are always glossy. That's really pretty. What do you guys think? It's very pretty. Let me go on the other side. And it's very fine, so I'm trying to see if, I mean, if you have texture, any type of glow is going to pick that up. So just know that is going to happen. Now, I don't think I would keep it on my cheeks like that because it is very light. It doesn't have a lot of pigmentation. It's just like a gloss, like a glow. So I'm going to take Oasis Glow and I'm just going to go over top of it from the Hourglass Evil Eye palette. We are glowing. Okay, so I'm going to put the Victoria Beckham brown liner in Cinnamon. My camera's a little warm, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brown liner, okay, the Victoria Beckham Cinnamon liner, and I'm going to use my Chanel Volume brown mascara, and then I'll come back and we'll do more new products with Hermes and Guerlain, okay? BRB. Okay, darling, so I finished my lashes, my liner. The only thing I added was the Chanel Evening Beige. I decided it needed a little richer, a little warmer look. I'm so sorry this is not available anymore. I still love it, and I have some dupes like the RMS Maiden's Blush is similar, but it's very glowy versus this one that has just a subtle sheen. So, and I can't let it go. I know I've probably had this past the extension. So do what I say, not what I do kind of thing, but I can't, I pulled it out of the drawer and I brought it back out and I've been using it for this season. It's just so beautiful and I just don't like the new Chanel formulations. And so I've been going back to Evening Beige. I love it. So that's the only thing, but I did put a little bit of the Hermes highlighter on the tips here so you can kind of see the overall look. It's really pretty. It doesn't enhance texture, but it's got a nice sheen to it. I don't know if you can see that, but like I did put it a little above my cheeks. I put it around this area where it's going to be a little glowy, and then the two different blushes here. So yeah, I really like that. So next I have two Hermes lip liners. So originally I just had one. I purchased the 49 Rose Bois. They were running out. These were like flying like hotcakes, and so I was able to select one, and then they came back in stock when I purchased the Hermes bronzer or the Hermes highlighter, and I purchased the color 24 Rose Tomette. So I'm going to show them both to you, but I like that these are, well, I won't say both because I do have something similar to this one, but the texture is different. It's supposed to be very long wearing, which I feel like is true. It's like a more matted finish, but it's creamy at the same time, but not as creamy as like the Chanel lip liners, the Dior ones. So they have a little more staying power. They have a 12-month shelf life, and they are also, oh, well, these are made in Germany actually. So that's very cool. What this states, the claims are, it is a pigmented, long-wearing formula made with 99% ingredients that are of natural origin. So it's supposed to be definition and contour for the lips, luminous, matte, colored line, buildable application. So kind of how I said it's kind of like feels on the lips. So first let's do Rose, the 49 Rose here. And then Rose Tomette 24. That may be close to my Dior Spice color, so I'll pull that one out too to see how similar these are, because I definitely have this one. Because fall is upon us and it has been so dry outside, I'm going to use my auto lip balm just to give my lips a little bit of moisture, and we'll use this. And I just want to show you the colors. So I'm just going to color my lips in, because I don't think this is what I'm going to finish with. I don't know. I may. Let's see both colors and we'll decide. This is Rose Bois. This is a really pretty color and very long lasting. I do feel like it's similar in color but not in formula to the LISAELDRIDGE 1C lip pencils, her contour pencil. She came out recently, so I'm going to put that just above there so you can see how similar in tone they are. The Hermes is slightly warmer, but it's ever so slight, and when I touch them, the LISAELDRIDGE is firmer. This one, you see how it can kind of rub off, so it's a little creamier of a finish, the Hermes lip liners, and LISAELDRIDGE is just a little more matted. So let's do the Rose Tomette, and then I have the Guerlain, a new Guerlain lipstick that I'm going to show you as well. So I'm going to wipe this off and we'll decide what lip liner we're going to finish with. I also didn't mention that it doesn't come with a lip liner sharpener, a pencil sharpener. That's very upsetting to me. This is a $50 lip liner. You can't give us a little, you know, which Lisa does. So Hermes, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like we need a sharpener in here for this price. That's just my own feelings on it. So this is Rose Tomette, and this is the first time I'm wearing this one. So let's see. Oh, you know, I forgot. Could you see how it's gliding on? My Prada. put that back on. Because my lips are just dry in general right now. It's going through an interesting stage in California where it's like kind of warm but then kind of dry, and so the dryness is real right now. It's pretty. And I feel like I don't have a color similar to this. I'm going to show you that new Dior lip liner that I have, but I do think that one is richer in tone just looking at this. It definitely has like this orangish pink color to it, which I like. I like a little something different. I mean, if you're going to spend this kind of money, it needs to be a decent formula, and it needs to be different than what you already currently own. This is Rose Tomette. Like, I debated for like at least a week if I was going to buy anything else from the Guerlain holiday collection, but I just couldn't justify spending the money on that palette when I knew I didn't even use the spring palette as much as I wanted to, which isn't similar in tone, but it was too similar-esque, and the colors were just way more like crazy, like a lot of reds, which I know I won't use. Yes, you can mix them all together. They have the pink, they have the copper color, but honestly, truly, I'm not gonna pull that palette out. So I opted to try Guerlain lipstick because that case, you tell me, how gorgeous is this case? And I'm not sure if they're still available. The limited editions do sometimes like stop restocking, but I'm not super familiar with the Guerlain lipstick cases. I've seen them for years, but there's nothing that kind of attracted me until this one, because it's got like iridescent sparkles with a lipstick case I love. And it has this pretty little lipstick. So when you do your lipstick, how cute is this? Just, you got your pretty lipstick case with your nice little mirror, which is like really nice. I'll put the color below of what I chose, but I knew I wanted a matte brown lip, so I selected a matte brown. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't excited about this formula. I really thought it was gonna give a better fullness to my lips, like the Sisley or the Dior even. And so I'm not excited about this formula, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't love it. And so I don't know, I'm disappointed, and I think I need to try maybe the shiny formula, because the matte was not giving. See how I feel about it with this whole look, because I'm not sure if I want to go back to the pink, because that or rose is kind of pink. Not sure. Should go back to the pink with the brown lip. Like, the lipsticks actually go really well together. And this is in the color Rose Spice, and I reviewed this some videos ago with the Valentino lipstick review. Oh yeah, Rose Spice is different, definitely deeper. So Dior Rose Spice and Hermes Rose Tomette. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better. That's good, because I don't want to have anything similar in my collection. But I'm looking at this look, and I'm thinking for the end of this video, I'm going to go back into the pink color. Okay, darling, so I know I gave you a lot of things today. I had to put a lot in here because, you know, I got to show you before some of these things go away. But overall, I love all the things I did select. Like I said, I've been using a lot of these products. The Sisley bronzer is a new like staple in my collection. I will always keep this on hand. There's quite a bit of product. It's 11 grams of product, so I don't anticipate me running out of this anytime soon. It's like something I may need to repurchase every year. So yes, it's expensive. Yes, get it on a sale. But if this is your only bronzer, it's worth it because it just looks so good, so seamless. And if you're my color tone, it'll just look airbrushed. It just looks like it just blends into the skin so beautifully. The only thing I ask, Sisley, please come out with more shades for all skin tones, because we all would appreciate this kind of gorgeous glow on all tones. I also absolutely love the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Silk liquid eyeshadow, specifically in the color Phoebe. It is a new holy grail. I will always keep this in my collection because I think it's just a beautiful, easy one and done shadow. I love it. I'm not going to talk about the Lisa Eldridge palette because I want to give you a full review on that, and I'll come out with more concrete feelings about that palette, but I can tell you it's not as neutral for me, as I do look better in a little bit of a warmer hue. I wish there was a little bit more warmth in there, but we'll save that for another day. The Hermes highlighter is gorgeous. I'm not going to lie. It looks like wet skin, and it is more shimmery than the Hourglass Evil Eye palette highlighter. So just know you're going to get a lot more shimmer, a lot more shine with this one. It's stunning. And if you can get your hands on it, I would. I think it's beautiful. You have tons of product. You're never going to go through all this. 7 grams of product, that's a lot for a highlighter. You know what I mean? So it's beautiful. It just looks like wet skin, and I think it's so pretty. For the Hermes lip liners, you know, these are expensive. I mean, I'm upset because there's no sharpener in there. I mean, we should at least have that. I was already feeling salty when Chanel took theirs away. It's fine. I have like bazillions of them, but still, I was upset about it. And even more so because these are $50 each. Like, why do you not have a sharpener? Now, do I think it's a necessity? Do I think it's worth the 50? You know, I think it's a nice formula if you need something more long lasting, because the only thing about sometimes creamy lip liners is that they don't last as long, whereas these do. Now, I do have a lot of lip liners that I love, and some that are very inexpensive, like $13 at Sephora. So am I going to sit here and tell you these are worth it? Absolutely not. And I think if you pick a shade, maybe pick one that you like, and I would do something different. So this Rose Tomette, and I didn't use this as the final look. I used the Rose Bois color because I just thought it worked better. I would pick something different, something that you can't just get in most of the beauty lines, something unique. And I think Rose Tomette is a beautiful, rich, light, warm, brown orange color. So I really like that. I think it's pretty, and that's the only one I would get if I could do over, because the Lisa Eldridge is just so similar. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe not in finish, but it's very similar in color. So only I would notice the nuance of those colors. The Guerlain case, stunning. Love, love, love. The actual lipstick, super disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm disappointed. I love Guerlain, you know I do. I love their BB Kiss Glow Oils, you know. I love a lot of their lip shines. I'm a big Guerlain fan, and I have been this last year. They just really have been blowing me away, but they definitely underwhelmed me with this here matte lipstick. I don't know if this is a new formula or if this is what they already have, but disappointed. Yeah, definitely disappointed. Yeah, darlings, tell me your feelings, your thoughts on all the things that I showed you today. Have you been interested in any of these products? Let me know, darlings. I hope you have a great day, a wonderful week, and I'll catch you in the next one.